See, the CIA officer who came out and said he was in a time travel program, Miles said we need to test the biological effects of time travel on the human body.
Right, and mutants in the same email.
But also, notice how it's just floating on the water.
4 of the chefs for the U.S. presidents have suddenly.
So it's a video going around where this man and his friends went to a beach, and this man is screaming on the beach because something came out of the water and took his friend off of the beach. Oh, you don't believe me, right? Look at this shit. I'm gonna sit this right here. Y'all cannot be playing on these beaches. Look. Shit is crazy.
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
What's good with the collective? Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up, and subbing up. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. This is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps collective grow, helps collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate you if you're watching your TV, whatever the case is. I wish it was smooth 7. Might be a trigger warning or 2. I hope not. But also, I gotta go ahead and let you know, don't forget to hype up the video as well. I have seen some of y'all comments. Y'all been sending me some of these clips of y'all kids going crazy to when we doing this intro. I appreciate y'all, man. I didn't even know it was gonna do what it's doing. But it's all love. Shout out to the collective again. Shout out to Matthew. Shout out to Larry. Y'all know what it is, man. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go. What's y'all thoughts?
Now, I'm a little confused here, okay? Someone explain, is this AI or he's doing like really good makeup? Because I watched this video back a couple times trying to figure it out and I'm just confused. And maybe y'all can help me figure it out. Because yeah, because if that's really good makeup, props to you. If this is AI, I'm sick of AI. Like, dang.
Do y'all think they use AI now to put it in our face? Because they know some people are going to automatically gravitate to it being AI? Or do y'all think that sometimes it's genuinely AI? I mean, they do it in movies. They hide it in our face with movies, books, writing, all that shit. What's y'all thoughts?
Her. Yeah. Is it really? Yep, that's her. It looks like her.
Took a picture of her, and he's like looking at her. And in the thing it said the lady's wearing like pink pants.
Remember like the one I yesterday?
Never? Yesterday? That one.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Should I block the truck?
Huh?
Should I block them?
Should block. Let me write it down.
It's a Texas plate.
Texas plate, what is it?
Is she a young girl? Yeah. You can't look it up of what she looks like?
Yes, I can. It's right here.
Got it? Show me a picture because I know what that girl looks like. She ran right past me.
Okay, hold on.
Oh my God, that's her. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yep, that's her. It looks like her. That's exactly what she looks like.
That's what's up, bro. We need more stories like this.
Yeah, it seems like they all in one spot, but I ain't gonna lie, that's hard right there. That's some old world architecture. I'm right next to the one with the clock tower right here. And this, y'all see, I got different angles up in there. That's another one. That's hard. Old world buildings, man. Before the reset. That might be one too, shit, I ain't gonna lie. It gotta be. You see it got that Egyptian hieroglyphs on the front.
The Mackinac Bridge, aka the Big Mac. It opened in 1957 and it stretches 5 miles long. Now this bridge is known for losing power in high winds. Count me out. I couldn't even imagine driving across this with no lights on. Hell no, no siree. But not only that, but do you see how those cables shaking? Talk about not safe at all. Just look at how this motherfucker swam. And you think that's safe to travel on? Hell no. Now, this suspension bridge connects to the upper and lower peninsulas of the U.S. state of Michigan. It spans across the body of water of Lake Michigan and Lake Huron. But if you think you're gonna catch me on this, count me out. Now, this bridge might be safe to ride on when it's a sunny day outside, but if it's windy or if it's snowing, count me out. Stay safe out there now.
Y'all catch them riding bikes on that thing, having a marathon?
Alright, so the stuff that's happening to me after going to Epstein Island, it's getting worse, so I don't care anymore. I'm dropping the YouTube video we filmed there, and let me explain why. Two things. So remember the last update I gave y'all was that I thought someone was listening to me through my phone because I couldn't record through my voice memo because it said I had a call or whatever, even though there's no call. And out of curiosity, I went on Google Trends to see where my name is being searched at, right? And again, I swear to God on everything, nothing that I say in these videos are lies. I checked a certain place, and I swear to God, the only time that I've ever been searched here was minutes during the whole shit with my phone. I don't want to say where though. I don't want to say, but if y'all can. And remember my roommate in the last video that I was talking to about the whole thing? Him to the exact. To top everything off, my manager called me and said it's looking like there might be a cha-ching coming. So I don't care anymore. I'm dropping the video at this point. It's already close.
Something creepy happened to this man. As he was showing his viewers the Amazon River, they were able to spot this strange shadow in the background, but also notice how it's just floating on the water.
I want to hear more.
Yeah, I've been watching anime all my life, but to see somebody do some crouching tiger, hidden dragon type shit, some anime, and she hit that bitch on photograph, that shit raw.
I'm not about to sit up here and act like I know what was going on in that clip. Can somebody in the comments elaborate, enlighten me on what really happened and what was going on there? What was true? Let me know, please. I'm not gonna act like I know because I don't know.
They must be ready for the truth to come out about that Miami Mall incident. Because before, if you search for videos about it, you couldn't find anything. Now the videos are resurfacing. I'm talking about videos from 2024 when it actually happened. People who were actually there. Matter of fact, look at this shit. This video is from January 2024.
This shit is so crazy.
Listen.
I'm posting this and I want y'all to repost, save this video, post it on other platforms before it gets taken down. Because I want to clear up some of this misinformation about the Bayside Mall incident that happened. So me and my girls in town, and we were shopping at the mall, and we noticed a lot of kids there. It wasn't a real big deal at first until they got to arguing, and shoving, and then like weapons got brought in, and they started fighting, running all over the mall, chaos just all over the place. So we thought we heard gunshots, but it turns out that was actually fireworks. But either way, that caused everybody to start rushing for the doors. People was leaving stuff behind. I mean, just dragging their kids. It was just complete chaos, man. Anyway, so as we running, we look back and we noticed some weird shapes taller than me. I'm 6'2", shadowy, dark, solid shapes. Not human. I promise you, these is not human. I mean, it made the hair stand up on my skin. And shit, we just booked it for the doors after that, man.
Something happened that day, and they hid it from that day. Now, let me ask you this. Why are these videos resurfacing now? You heard President Obama say that there are aliens. You heard the president say that he's going to release the alien files. And then, mysteriously after that, they start releasing these videos all over again, or unblocking these videos. Go down the Miami Mall rabbit hole. Look up a person named Fitz. See what Fitz said. See what he said happened. He gave a visual story about what happened. He has a 7-part series story about everything that happened in that mall. There is no way that teenage kids would mandate that many police to come to a mall. They seen something, and the proof is coming out. I'm out.
In the last 10 years, 4 of the chefs for the U.S. presidents have died suddenly, and 2 of them died by accidental drowning. First of all, what were the presidents asking for on the menu? And second of all, I think that the next chef is gonna have a hard time getting life insurance or something. I don't know, I feel like there's a pattern, but this is my driver. And sorry, I know you guys want me to hit my 7-iron, but this is kind of my thing, so just lay off, okay? Create your own content if you want.
Them chefs be walking in on a crazy conversation.
Yo, what is that? What's that? Huh? What is this right here, bro? Remember? They were right. We are really in the Matrix, guys, because people are saying that these are sentinels in the sky now. This is not the first time I've seen a video of something like that in the sky, guys. Now, I don't know if you got future plans or not, but something is going on out there that I know nothing about. That's why I'm asking you guys. You thought it was just a movie? Shut up! Just picture paying your bills and you go outside and you see this thing outside. How do you feel now? Because if sentinels are in the sky, they in the sky for free. And the helicopter just passed right by it. The helicopter didn't want nothing to do whatever that was in the sky. I mean, if this starts to be in the sky more often, I'm gonna just stay home. The people that are awake know that we're living in the Matrix. They know. Want to know something else? This video is for entertainment purposes only, and I think that video is AI, bro. Because I hope that there's not sentinels flying around in the sky. Yo, I don't know. Let me know. I'm out.
We see them clips a lot of the things in the sky.
I feel like I just realized why Flat Earth went mainstream Christianity in the past year or two, and I am so mind blown. It feels like God orchestrated it to foil the enemy's plan. I can't sleep right now, and this just popped into my head. When I first started posting about like Flat Earth and like the biblical ties, I remember the first video I ever made, I was like, yeah, I took a flight and I was like looking out the window, and I had been on plenty of flights before that for different reasons. And I'm looking out the window and it was like a veil was torn off my eyes, because I remember being like, is the earth flat? Like, I think the earth is flat. And I'm looking at like the plane map that's like on the back of the seats, like the digital map. And I'm like, and mind you, I was never exposed to like any flat earth content like ever. I was not a conspiracy theorist in any way, shape or form. So I'm looking at the map. As a person that was pretty familiar with what like world maps looked like, I did well in geography and stuff. And I sat for the rest of the plane ride, I didn't have Wi-Fi, thinking, oh my gosh, I think they're lying. I think the earth is flat. So then I got online because I wanted like people to talk to about it. Like I wanted to originally create like some kind of group to like talk to people that like might also think that. And at first, the way that people would revile me was insane. Like I had people that were identifying as Christian saying that they were gonna off me, that I was like destroying the gospel and all of this stuff. And then it seemed like one day everything went viral and everybody just started like having sudden realizations like, oh yeah, it is flat, and the Bible does say that it's flat with a firmament above us. Like, I'm not kidding. I remember several occasions thinking to myself, like, God has to be opening people's eyes to this, like, so that they believe the Bible more. That's what I was initially thinking, and yes, I think that is true. But, like, the way that it went from, like, everybody calling me names and stuff to, like, everybody, like, being like, oh, yeah, it is semi-flat, or, like, at least willing to give it a try. I remember always thinking, like, it felt divinely orchestrated in some way, and it just clicked to me why. And pretty much anytime I would post things about flat biblical earth, the video would immediately have, like, a flag on it, or, like, a notification telling me that it was going to be suppressed because it was, like, against guidelines or whatever. But every single time it would somehow reach like millions of views with very high engagement, which like that doesn't happen. If you're a creator, you know that does not happen. Even when they would take my videos down, a lot of times they'd randomly just be like back up and they'd garner like another couple 100,000 views. And it seemed like they were clamoring to get flat earth content like off of the internet. This definitely had to be God foiling their plan right before it happened, because we're about to have alien disclosure. And if you haven't seen my other videos about Noah's Ark in the sky, as well as judgment being like aliens, like judgment and the return, they're gonna frame it as aliens, because biblically accurate angels, a lot of them look like machines. And a lot of them look like what they've primed us to believe aliens look like. Same thing with the Ark. And a lot of people are mad at me right now, but it's the exact same way that it was when I first started talking flat earth. That is why I believe God is waking people up to the fact that they live among us, the reptilian shapeshifters. David says there's lizards in king's palaces. The serpent is a talking, walking serpent. The ancient dragon comes back. Jesus calls the Pharisees vipers. Paul says Satan's workers transform themselves as workers of righteousness and apostles of Christ. The word for transform is rooted in metamorphosis. So it's not like a devil wearing a fake mustache, guys. It is shapeshifters. Every single culture ever has pictures drawn, painted, and writings that include shape-shifting reptilians.
Don't need to debate any Christian. I was a Christian. If you want, I can give you both sides, easy. But he will ask you if you delivered the message. I'll play both parts. I'll be the Christian and tell you this, and then I'll be the Muslim and give the answer.
Anytime one of these videos comes on my feed, I'm like, how does this have like 100,000 likes? Like, people do not have any discernment. Now, if I got on here with snake eyes, like slits for pupils, and my teeth visibly shifting, I feel that everybody would notice. But because it's these guys.
Okay, she might be right.
For UNICEF, which is an amazing organization that works in over 150 countries. And my job was to meet with teenagers who were living in exclusion, who were living in extreme poverty, or living with, write their story.
I am a rich backed by Richard.
You really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
Kenneth Copeland is highly obvious. Look at the eye shape. Look at how he is. This is a reptilian. But most people are already showing that they would not recognize a snake if it looked like an angel of light with Christian theology.
I'm here to say welcome to the spiritual war. If you're not aware of it, put on the armor, stand your post. You're a woman of the word.
Watch the eyes and the teeth. The eyes are shifting to reptile eyes and the teeth are sharp and reptilian. I'm not saying this to be a bully. I think that she's very obviously beautiful, but I do not think that this situation is at all what we think it is.
Ask a man who's a great man, actually, one of the great men of our country, Kenneth Copeland, to come up and say a prayer. Shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took...
No, I'm not a poor baby. I'm more reptilian. Come in to win the election.
We're going to take a short break. I want to talk to you more about President Biden.
We're different from the president. We're very discreet. Reptilian.
And you might say, well, why would a shapeshifter want to preach the gospel? To point you towards this. Every single sus, or at least sus to me, Christian public figure, they all believe in globe theory, and I would bet anything that they're going to point all of the people that look to them for everything to this being like aliens from outer space and or just completely demonic, because Revelation says that Satan will deceive the whole world into encompassing the camp of the saints, which I believe is what I call Noah's Ark in the sky in those videos. It's New Jerusalem, and they've spent a long time pre-framing the perspective of the masses as to what it is. That's why we just had that viral clip like last year of Wernher von Braun's secretary coming out and saying, he told me one thing, to not forget one thing, that in the end, the last deception, to remember that it was not aliens. Wernher von Braun is the founder of NASA. And his tombstone said Psalm 19:1. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament shows his handiwork. And it's wild to me. I feel like it's been in our face the whole time. Like the They Live movie. Like, yes, the Bible also says he sends fiery serpents among us as judgment. Among us. They live among us. So that they can deceive the masses into truly believing that it's not the return. It's aliens or whatever else. I think it's a form of separating wheat from tares. Like, do you believe the word of God truly? Do you pray and ask God and like ask for confirmation truly? And I think that's why it's going mainstream that all of these guys are literally reptiles. They're snakes. I mean, Trump literally like said a poem at all of his rallies that was titled, "I'm a snake." But personally, I think that a lot of people need to wake up to the fact that they're in religion too. Like, they are going to be the leaders of everything, of every religion, of all politics, of all Hollywood. They're like the leaders. Like, I know it sounds crazy because I honestly thought this was crazy like 6 months ago. But yeah, I also think the conspiracy that reptilian shapeshifters run everything is true. I'm just so mind blown, like the whole thing with flat earth. It has to be this. It has to be.
And I feel like that 1%, the reptilians or whatever you want to refer to them as, they're a species in their own. And I feel like they have created some other extraterrestrials as well. And I feel like there's real ones of those. And then there's fake ones out there as well. Just as there's real humans. And we saw that there's fake humans that they make as robots. And if some like to claim that we've gotten our technology from extraterrestrials, who's to say that's not the real ones? You get what I mean? And then they learned how to clone these gray aliens, different species. That's where some people be like, oh, they're demonic, they're fallen angels. Yeah, maybe they did create their own. God didn't just create one bad thing. You know what I mean? Like, and then on top of that, I think they at war. I really do. I think the 1% reptilians, whatever you want to refer to them as, is at war with another species. Over, I said this before, they not just messing us up, they messing up our atmosphere, things like that, and it's disrupting other shit out there. And I think that that is a possibility of why they are clashing. Whoever disagree, I respect it, but let me know y'all thoughts, man. This was a dope ass clip. I could go on and on about this.
I keep telling y'all, stop going to these beaches at night thinking that mermaids aren't real. If you do not think mermaids are real, go into the book of Enoch and see what it says about mermaids. So it's a video going around where this man and his friends went to a beach, and this man is screaming on the beach because something came out of the water and took his friend off of the beach. Oh, you don't believe me, right? Look at this shit. I'm gonna sit this right here. Y'all cannot be playing on these beaches. Look. Shit is crazy. The ocean at night is already different. You can't see below the surface. You can't see what's moving. And most disappearances near waters happen and no bodies are recovered. In Greek mythology, sirens don't look like Disney mermaids. They lure sailors in with sounds, with singing, with voices that felt familiar. If you go down the rabbit hole, you'll see Christopher Columbus himself documented seeing mermaids in 1493. And people thought it was fake propaganda. The NOAA even denied statements that mermaids are real. But why deny something that doesn't exist? Now go back to the video. Why is that man screaming like that? You gotta remember that thousands of people disappear near the coastline every single year. Boaters report hearing voices in the fog. Divers talk about poor currents that feel like hands, that feel intentional. And then you have the military. Military sonar has picked up unidentified aquatic sounds. And these sounds that they picked up didn't match whales or dolphins or fish. So what were they? And again, you gotta remember that they only explore 5% of the ocean. Those waters, those beaches at night are not the place to be. I've made plenty of videos on mermaids. I've made videos about what the elites do with mermaids. Pay attention.
This is The Mask, played by Jim Carrey in 1996. Jim Carrey played this character by the name of Stanley Ipkiss, who was very inhibited. He didn't like his life, and he worked a 9-to-5. Stanley sees a mask in the harbor. He goes into the water and he retrieves it. Once he puts this mask on at night, the Norse god Loki, the god of mischief, inhabits Stanley's body and Stanley becomes a new entity with this mask fused onto his face. Now, what's interesting about this is that there's another book that's out by R.L. Stein, and it's called The Haunted Mask. And in this book, there's a girl who is bullied, and she puts this mask on, and she scares everyone away, but the mask won't come off. And her entity, her personality begins to change to become cold and just like that mask. Now, then there is a guy, a rapper by the name of Skrill, who wears a mask. And he had someone who was interviewing him to put on this mask right here. And he said when you wear it, it takes a portion of your soul and it gives him powers. He's also the person who had these coined words called 6-7. Coincidence?
I remember I couldn't wait to get home to watch Goosebumps, bro. But that clip with the mask, that shit wouldn't come off. Bro, is that not a classic ass? That was a classic episode. Who spam it up in the comments if I'm by my if you agree with me. Freak the shit, it freaked my ass out, but I still classic. In that movie The Mask, as soon as he throw the mask on as a kid, that used to draw my attention. I used to love that's a classic movie too. I rock with that movie. What's y'all thoughts? Let me know. Great content. Miles B47.
This place doesn't add up. This is the Colossa temple in India. Now pay attention to this one, guys, because the Matrix tells us this entire place was carved from one slab of stone, that it was hand chiseled from the top down. Who honestly believes that? What you're seeing here is laser technology. In order to make this place, 400,000 tons of rock had to be excavated and removed, and yet none of this rock has ever been found or discovered. This is all from one stone. We're talking multi-level halls, perfectly carved pillars, symmetrical structures, even bridges. All these rooms and intricate details built from the top down. By hand. There wasn't room for a single mistake. One wrong strike and the entire structure is ruined. Now, according to fake history, we're told this place was built in only 18 years. Cultural legends say 7 days, but let's just assume 18 years. If 400,000 tons were removed, that is between 400 million and 800 million pounds of stone that just had to somehow vanish. Now let's assume 7,000 workers worked like robots, non-stop, 12 hours a day, for 18 years. Break that down and you're looking at them removing 60 tons per day. That's 5 tons per hour, by hand. And that's just the excavation. What about the time taken for designing, mapping the top down, the intricate carvings, engineering load distribution? Crazy part is, people would just say, oh, they had a lot of time in those days. Look, time doesn't create mastery. Time doesn't explain precision. And a lot of workers does not equal quality. Quantity never means quality. For them to accomplish this perfect degree of engineering, every individual there would have had to have been some superhuman master stonemason. This is also just one network of an entire system known as the Ellora Caves, just 1 in 34. There's no way we did this with hammer and chisel. That's fake history. That's even impossible now. To chisel basalt rock, you need tools significantly stronger than rock itself. And there's only 2 modern examples: tungsten carbide chisels, which weren't really invented until the mid-1800s, and diamond cut tools, which were rarely used or distributed then. And this is all from laser technology. Lasers. That or some form of highly advanced technology that's either been lost or being hidden from us. Now you might have thought history was boring, but that's only because you've been given a fake history designed to hide an incredible past.
Scary thing to me about this whole thing is, like, when you study ancient civilizations, they all made child sacrifice to these beings, these deities, in exchange for wealth and power. And it's kind of like when you see declassified files come out about the government tracking ancient bloodlines and hybrid people, it's kind of like, how old are these people really?
Well, it's funny you say that, because a lot of celebrities that we look at look exactly like people we find in 1700.
Yeah, I mean, Epstein looked like Andrew Jackson. He looked exactly like him.
Identical.
You see the CIA CIA officer who came out and said he was in a time travel program?
Yes. Yeah.
Break that down.
I just saw that. I didn't
You
see
know, there are certain videos online that you can find where you see people in there like in the 1400s walking like they on a cell phone.
I seen that.
And then the guy Epstein in the file said we need to test the biological effects of time travel on the human body.
Right. And mutants in the same email.
It's in the file.
And all of these demons are basically, well, Transformers, pause, whatever. Because, bro, it's just getting out of hand, bro. I'm ready to up Drake. It's kind of like, what else can you do,
Yeah,
bro?
this is some like, yo, how are we a society after knowing all of this shit? How is everybody just going to work and just thinking that this shit is cool?
A lot of people are wondering what the map looks like that I found in my encyclopedia. So let's find out. So I have 4 books in this collection of Funk and Wagnall's standard reference encyclopedias. This is the first one that I have gotten to look at. This was, I think, last touched in 1966. So let's get into the map. So as you can see, this is, you know, the North Pole. And all around it is, you guessed it, Antarctica. This map has the North Pole as the mathematical center. From it, true distance to any part of the world can be measured. Such a projection shows to advantage the Great Circle routes used in navigation, which pass near the Arctic Circle. Polar projection maps are indispensable to a global-minded nation. So this is the World Mercator projection, and all of its times. So a couple of things on this map that didn't make sense to me was that Antarctica was not labeled on here at all, but we know that the bottom is Antarctica because this is the Antarctic Circle that goes all the way around. So look at Antarctic Circle all the way around, and beyond the Antarctic Circle is Antarctica. If we're doing the world, we should include Antarctica. Why did it stop right here before it at 9? And all of these are not equal distance. This is A, and this is also A. They just overlap. So I took this map and I cut it up and I marked down the lines of the Arctic Circle, the equator, and the Antarctic Circle. Let's put this together. So you can see that A and Z are practically the same, you know, they have the same time. So when you put this map together, it looks like the first map that I showed you. And we know that the North Pole is in the middle of the Arctic Circle, which goes around here. All of the times are right, and we are surrounded by the Antarctica.
To my Globers, I'm curious, when you see clips like this, what's your thoughts? How do you justify, if you still believe it's a globe, like what still makes you still believe that it's a globe? I would really like to know. Like again, most people won't have this conversation with you. Most people will quickly just disagree with you or send you insults or don't want to hear shit you got to say. I actually want to hear it. Like, I want to have that conversation. I feel like conversation help the world go around, help shit get solved. I'm a flat earther, so let me know. I'm not even here to disagree with you. I just want to hear your perspective on it, because one day one of us is right, and I don't care who's right as long as the damn truth come out. Also, spam up flat earth if you rock with me. Yeah, spam it up in the comments, bro. If you rock with that, let me know. Spam it up, man.
Fisherman. He said after a certain time, being on the shore of the beach is dangerous because that's when they arrive and they take people with them. Point blank, period. And you know, everybody's compound on the coast got electric charged wire on top of the fences, barbed wire, and they all got these signs, danger. And everybody got their security. They say after a certain time it get dangerous. Be inside the gate. Don't go in there. Don't go to the water, because none of us can swim good enough to get you back from them. I spoke to a guy. He said he went for a night swim, and when he got back to shore, he was standing there with his towel, and he looked and he seen a merman standing there. The hair was not like you see in the movies. He said he had these large black eyes, and he said he got this compelling feeling to go into the water. And he said he glad he fought the thought, because he said he felt like if he did, nobody ever see him again. And when I went to Puerto Rico, the locals said the exact same thing. Exact same thing.
There's videos now in Mexico of people that are given the same description.
For sure.
Recently, that just happened a few weeks ago, that they seen one that walked onto the shoreline.
That's the thing.
It's got legs.
Apparently, the males don't have the fish appendage at the end. They got legs, but they have webbed hands and webbed feet.
Okay.
So this is the description everybody's getting.
Wonder if they can survive on land though. Like,
oh shit, y'all. Cuba and the United States is probably about to clash, fool. 4 people that was on a speedboat that was registered to Florida was unalived on Cuba water by their officials. So they was on a speedboat, 4 of them. I guess the driver didn't know that he was in the Cuba's water. He was on their land territory. One thing led to another. They start arguing back and forth. And then the Cuban official said that somebody on that boat started firing. And that's when they returned fire, unaliving all 4 that was on that speedboat. I can see a whole international situation now. A big problem. Because they decided to unalive some Florida folks, some US folks. Y'all already know that the United States and Cuba don't see eye to eye. They don't like each other. Could this situation be the reason? Could this be the plan all along? To go in there and...
I remember waking up and I could look across and there was literally hundreds of cages. And there was children, small children in these cages. And they were all attached. So they were in such tremendous pain that they were really tremendous pain. It was a darker energy because obviously the children were being tortured, just absorbing the energy from the children. And I survived it, but a lot of the children in there didn't survive it.
What age were you?
I was like 7 years old when this happened. I was one of the children that survived electric shocks. Now they were also had sort of out of my body, but I could hear and I could see, but it was like a far away sort of thing because I was disassociated really bad. And then I remember that I could hear them speaking, and they were going to take this energy and they were going to put it on food. They were going to throw this dark energy on food. So whoever eats the food would also be, they would be charmed and they would be energetically, parasitically linked, and they would be all sorts of. This energy works on the negative emotions. It absorbs it, it likes it, and into the water. That's the pollution of the water. Everybody knows that the human body is made mostly up of water. Well, it's programmable. Water's programmable. The thing is if you mess with the water and pollute the water, and then the people drink that, or it rains down, or they swim in it, or they get in it, obviously effect on them, and lots of different effects on them. So they're trying to do is they're trying to pretty much pollute everybody in the world to where they don't know what's going on anymore. Even if you awaken one, heart-touching memory I have is that I was in space and I could see this black goo or this black smoke encompass Earth, just like smoke encompass it.
Inside the galaxy.
Yes, it comes from somewhere else, from what I understand. It comes from somewhere else. I'm still trying to figure that out. It puts you in amnesia also. I've noticed that the more that you don't remember. It puts you in amnesia. I noted when I was small, I would see it on I would see on people who, their children, I would see on all sorts of people when they were very negative, I would see on them. And it would express, I had instances where I would talk to somebody and then they would say certain words and Then I'd go down the road and talk to somebody else, and they would continue the conversation because it was that same energy speaking through these people that it had hacked into.
Describes exactly what happened to these giant ancient trees. It describes how these were cut down by the angels to flood the Nephilim giants reaching 4,500 feet tall. And I believe once these trees were fell, the waters rushed out from below as the waters poured from above. The same can be seen today in the smaller trees. When their roots hit the underground water lines and they're chopped down, they will start gushing water like water fountains. Now imagine that with trees that stretched to the heavens. It says there were about 200 of these trees. And in the many years of looking into this, I would say that's about an accurate number. Perhaps even more. Many are still left to be uncovered, buried right beneath the surface of what we just think are nothing but hills. There was a reason why the book of Enoch, along with 14 other books, were conveniently removed from today's version of the Bible. It painted a far too accurate picture of the true nature and history of this realm. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
I don't know what's worse, the shit that they revealed about the Epstein files, or the rabbit hole that I went down about live dolls. And let me start by saying this is another reason why I always say the dark web is not the place to be. So basically, people are getting auctioned on the dark web, and they're getting auctioned to be a live doll. You heard what I just said? A live doll. So people on the dark web will bid on you, and when they win the bid, you basically sign yourself away to be their live doll. So how they do this is, they will surgically remove all of your bones, all of your limbs. They will have your tongue cut out. They will remove your eyes. They will then set your body up to a feeding tube so that you can get food and nourishments so you can spend the rest of your life as a live doll. You heard what I just said? And the craziest part of that is this. If you wanted to die, if you wanted to get out of that contract, if you wanted to get your own life back, that is not possible. You can't even take your own life. You would have to be a live doll for the rest of your existence until you expire. Jump down a rabbit hole. Hit that search bar up there, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. There are people that are signing up for this on the dark web. I'm out.
Y'all say y'all don't want no more clips on the dark web. Y'all said that. Because I remember we was starting to put it out there, and y'all was like, hey, we getting too deep, it's getting too crazy, I don't want y'all said y'all didn't want that. That shit was getting crazy. That shit do get crazy. People signing up for it. You can't stop them. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I hope you wouldn't do it either. Just for entertainment purposes.
Oh, look. In Mesopotamia, which is an ancient place, they had these sculptures. This is a reptile, like a standing humanoid reptile that has a baby reptile sucking on his breast. And this was made back then where there wasn't entertainment. They created these things to warn us. But you know what they did? These things stood in power and started controlling the information that we receive. So they've been amongst us this whole time.
The Illuminati are actually run by these 13 bloodlines, which are all of the royal families in Europe and in England, and they need the blood because they are, in fact, not human. They take human shape. They are reptilians, and they need the blood. The blood helps them maintain their reptilian shape, and it helps them maintain their sanity, and it helps them to live in this world because they are not from this world. But what they need is, for it to be secreted in the blood, is they need terrorization of their victims before they are killed for their blood.
Would you say that we are currently under the control of reptilians?
I think so. They control the media, they control the banks, they control the educational system, they control religion. What's left?
So what is the actual process towards awakening that humans can achieve? How do we kick our rulers aside and activate our own potential?
The main advantage that we have is our consciousness.
Damn, I wish we could have went further with that.
Dude, is history about to be rewritten, y'all? Look at this. This is the Great Wall of China. This is China. This is Russia. I want y'all to look at something now. You see these little slits? Let me not get too far ahead of myself, okay? This right here is Grand Tartaria, okay? Which is now Russia, okay? This is a theory, but hold on. Tartaria was this magical kingdom, everybody says, with like all kinds of free energy and just power beyond all recognition. This was their flag. Now, you see their little flag, right? It's a griffin, okay? This is the Russian coat of arms. You see this right here? Look what that joker's stomping on and got a spear through. It is, in fact, a griffin, for sure. So people say that Tartaria wasn't real and all this. Well, look, the flags of all nations, if it wasn't real, why was there Tartary right here? And look, then the China, look, they're both facing away from each other. Russia, China, Tartaria, China, or is it Russia? Which one is it, y'all?
13,171 miles long. Let me put that in perspective. Crossing the U.S. coast to coast is about 3,000 miles. Now multiply that by 4, and then add 1,000 miles. That's how massive this wall is.
What?
Now the question is, who builds something that massive for...
They say this side is, see, where they throw the arrows to the enemies, and that's why they built this giant wall to protect China from their enemies. But you know what's interesting and very curious? This side is China, and this side is outside China.
So what's really interesting, y'all, is allegedly, this right here, look, the gun slit for defense, or actually arrow slits or whatever, so they could like defend themselves. Well, if that side's China, why is it not on this side? If they're trying to defend, you know what I mean? It's opposite, it's backwards, allegedly, is what everybody's saying. So the only way to really find out is to go to China, to go to the Great Wall. So that's what we're going to do. We are traveling all the way there. We're going to see it for ourselves, okay? That's a fact, and we're going to show y'all the real truth. And I could be wrong about all this, but I'm not usually wrong. There's countless maps, y'all. Look, Tartaria, bam. This one right here is from like the 1400s, I think, or something like that. Why is Tartaria all over all these maps, yet it never existed? Tartaria was a region. If it was a region, why on earth do they have a daggum flag, man? If it's just a region, that doesn't make any sense at all. And why the whole Russia thing? Look, the Russian coat of arms, they're spearing. They're like, nope, we're taking over. Ha 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 ha. And also, it was like a little owl. But my question is, if the Tartarians were so big and bad and all that, how were they conquered? If they had all this free energy, all this power, all that, how were they conquered? You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing nobody can ever seem to answer about that. So, yeah. There's plenty of these right here.
How were they conquered? Easy. Probably find somebody that'll turn their back on them. Find one of their own. Flip them. Give them... How was Jesus backstabbed? How was every story you hear is always somebody that was close to him that backdoored him and got him set up or something like that. I'm sure it's something like that, man. Let me know. Hit the power grid. They did something. They got some key information, some intel on how to take them down, and that's what they did. That's my opinion. What's y'all's?
This thing is in the middle of the water. Did I leave that part out? Well, yeah. It's in the middle of the water. And we are supposed to just believe that they had a great shipping company, an architect, a financial guy that would make sure that they had this all covered in the year 708. Oh, and it of course lasts forever. With 0 issues and not one flaw in the construction. It's perfect. Unlike anything that we have ever constructed today. How does the mainstream history make any sense at all at this point? You cannot go from this in 708 to evolving and advancing into sheds. And now we build Motel 6s. It's crazy. How can anyone ever go into a history class again without laughing? The year 708 was just a year of brilliance, I guess. Yeah, right. These buildings are from the previous civilization, and more people are realizing this every single day. And once you know, you know. You don't go back to thinking that the year 708 built massive structures on a cliff in the middle of the water with a train that just pulls right up to the front door. And I was on Google Maps just looking around and saw this city in Italy. And I went down to the street view and I saw that they have this fountain. The whole city clearly was found, repurposed, and is being used today. And as we spin this camera view around,
Man, the clips today is killing me. Just go through with it.
In the beginning, God created the heavens, and the earth.
And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And God called the firmament heaven. And God called the firmament heaven.
The one who builds his upper chambers in the heavens and has founded his vaulted dome over the earth, vaulted dome over the earth. Praise him, highest heavens, and the waters that are above the heavens.
Is this real or just Christian paranoia?
I want you to catch something. Listen carefully. Raise your hand if you heard anything right away. Okay, that was without me even telling you anything. I seen a lot of hands go up. Forward. Your stairway lies on the whispering wind. Backwards it says, listen carefully. Raise your hands if you heard that. Let's listen on. Backwards it says, the Lord turned me off.
Okay, I need to get y'all's opinion on this because my sister and I were debating it. This is a real thing called backmasking, and groups like the Beatles have admitted to using it. But the question is, should we believe that reversed audio can shape someone's behavior or spiritual life without them even knowing it? Or is that giving it too much power? Let me know what you think in the comments.
What's y'all thoughts?
Supposedly, this is the big story. Supposedly, there's one that's so big that they can't move it, so they built a building around it. And that's supposed to be in Korea. What? Supposedly. That's why I heard it's in Korea. But yeah, this is the lore, that this thing is so big that they couldn't move it, that they had to put a building around it.
Dude, that's wild. That'll be the thing I always think about. If they come out and say, yeah, there's definitely aliens, like, what do people do?
Yeah. This is the building, supposedly?
Whoa.
A giant building in South Korea is often been cited as a potential UFO storage facility. Can you imagine if they just built it the shape of a UFO?
Yeah, it kind of looks like it, honestly.
That's so
like,
crazy.
Dude, do a square building.
What's in that building?
I don't know.
Imagine if that's real.
Yeah, what is this? Why are they, why do they think this?
Well, I would imagine that place would have to be heavily guarded.
Yeah.
There's just a gate. Oh. Who's that guy? Eric Burleson insisted on the existence of aliens, but admitted he has no definitive proof. Okay.
Yeah, I was talking that video I showed you the other day who said he was going to go look at these places.
He was going to go look in Korea?
He mentioned he was going to go look at the underground one. He didn't say where it was.
Oh, this is the congressman. The congressman's claimed.
Yeah.
So scroll down there a little lower. So here it is. U.S. Congressman has claimed classified facility housing a UFO is hiding in plain sight. Well, that's kind of hiding in plain sight. They literally made a little antenna on the top, just like this sport model. Look at this sport model. It has that antenna on the top. I don't know what to believe, man, but I know I want to believe.
This is the Lizard from Spider-Man. His former name was Dr. Kirk Connors, and he was a very smart biologist. He lost his arm and began to do reptile research with regeneration. He decided to use the reptile DNA for regeneration and infuse it in himself, thus changing him into a humanoid reptile hybrid, where he became completely primal. He went down into the sewers underground. This is where Spider-Man kicks in and has to figure out how to defeat him. Cold temperatures slow this lizard down, and high-pitched frequencies like bells or supersonic weapons. What happened to all the bells? Interesting. So we see this theme, this pattern. He's fighting something that is reptilian, humanoid, and is primal, and dwells underground, and is real. Now he has to get pictures to confirm that this is real because no one will believe him. Coincidence?
And I don't believe in coincidences.
Oh yeah, this one might be yesterday's because I like the cave and the tight opening. This is natural. Because look at the way the ice spikes out. That looks like it's...
So with Elon Musk's Starlink being set up all around the world in the sky, it's not in space, it's just very up high. People are allowed to have internet basically anywhere in the earth. And I've been saying that since all these Epstein files have been released and the truth about like the biggest truth drop in all of human history about these kids being eaten by the world leaders, since that is out now, it's only a matter of time before it's allowed to be the knowledge about the ice wall coming out and that there are secret lands hidden beyond. So pretty soon it's not going to be able to be kept secret for much longer, and we're going to be given access to live stream our adventures past the ice wall. So this is why I've been preparing to go.
What's y'all thoughts? Because I swear on everything they say we can get past, if they ever was to say, bro, we can get past the ice walls, we're going to start allowing y'all to go over there. Bro, I swear I'm taking at least one person from the collective with me. I'm running the one, we're gonna choose one random person and we going over there, bro. You going with me and the family, we about to slide over there. I swear I'm choosing one. If I can get more than one, I'm going to get more, but one for sure. One for sure. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Would y'all go over there?
This man said he encountered the real Jeepers Creepers.
We all thought Jeepers Creepers was just a movie, but did you ever hear what happened in Laredo, Texas? Years ago, someone was out on the road and they filmed this giant winged creature with a human head, bat-like arms, and this thing was flying up above them in their car into the sky. And they took like multiple photographs of this thing. And I said, it was in Laredo, I believe Laredo, Texas, this happened. And I told people the story about something that happened to me last year. And about 100 yards off in a field, I saw this thing perched in a tree, and I kind of pulled over on the side of the road, and I looked at this thing, and I'm like, what in the... And just at that moment, this thing turned. And to me, it looked like a human face. It looked in my direction, and the blood just ran out of my face and head, and I just froze. This thing looked at me. Then it turned its head in the other direction, and it lifted up with like human-like legs, and this thing, the wings on this thing, they must have been like 12 feet wide wingspan, and this thing flew off. Now, I haven't told many people this story, but the thing looked like that Jeepers Creepers character. And a few months later, I watched the movie, and I'm like, that looks like...
Stay weird.
This strange creature that I saw on the tree on the way to work.
Y'all believe him? Or y'all think he capping?
Yo, is he even allowed to say this out loud?
There's one message you can tell a youth about life. How you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you, also repels things away from you. Only think about what you want. Forget about what you don't want. Never speak about what you don't have. If there's no enemy on the inside of your mind, no enemy on the outside could ever do you or your body any harm. Don't look out the window. Look in the mirror. What they say, how they feel, do what you want to do and be good at it. Just make sure what you do is good to you and for you. Right.
Damn. I literally cannot say it any better myself.
Very well said. I've seen that clip before.
The game is up. The cat's out the bag. Do you know who this is? Comment below if you think you know, but don't cheat, because this man is the reason why the world already ended. The Antichrist. While you're guessing, let me give you some clues. First, you gotta understand why people call the white horseman the Antichrist, because that language isn't used in Revelation. Christ, end of Revelation, arrives on a white horse with a sword, wears many crowns, brings true peace. The first horseman arrives on a white horse with a bow, no arrow, wears one crown, brings conquest, claiming peace. You see, the white horseman is not Christ, he is the imposter, the Antichrist. The wolf in sheep's clothing. Let me ask you something. Who killed Christ? The Romans, who took Christ's story, rebranded it, and turned it into an empire. The Romans. The Roman Empire didn't die, it shed its skin. The conquering spirit, the essence of the empire, found a new host. White robes replaced red flags. The cross replaced the sword. So who was this man? Did you guess? This man's name is Pope Nicholas. He claimed he had the right to the entire globe as a representative of Christ on earth. He authorized and decreed the conquering and enslavement of Africa and the Americas. You don't believe that he's the Antichrist, the white horseman? Let's go further. The decree was executed on an unprecedented scale. This was the only time in history a conquest of this magnitude was achieved. 8% of the world's population conquered 80% of the world's population. The papal bulls of Pope Nicholas and his successors created a legal concept known as the Doctrine of Discovery. The doctrine became the foundation of property law in countries like the US, Canada, Australia. It is a legal basis used to this day to justify the claim to lands originally belonging to indigenous peoples. The apocalypse wasn't just a single event with fire from the sky, though fire would rain from the sky. We could talk about that in another video. It was a systematic, centuries-long conquest and enslavement of the world carried out in the image of Christ. A matrix is a medium of structure in which you develop it. So you do live in a matrix, but you live in a devouring matrix. Today we call it civilization. It's a devouring matrix that feeds on humanity disguised as order. The constant pressure of rent, mortgages, bills, and 9-to-5 work is the modern expression of this. You cannot get rid of the Antichrist until you get rid of civilization itself. Escaping the matrix. To live without rent, mortgage, or bills, you must first understand the foundation of the system you were born.
I can control how I grow my food and if I want to spray pesticides or not, but I cannot control the experiments over my head.
Within an hour, it spreads out, it creates a blanket.
We're in a war. This is a war against me, you, our children, our grandchildren, and generations to come. This is war raged upon us.
These programs consist of spraying tons of patented aerosol pollutants into our skies without public consent. This includes aluminum, barium, strontium, and more.
It's targeting your food, your water.
If people want to know if this is a real thing, states have bills to ban it.
I think there are now 32 states that have taken an attempt at this. This has become a huge issue.
If your average citizen knew the truth of what's going on and what they're being exposed to without their consent, they would be outraged and they would take action.
I don't want some creep ramming chemicals down my throat without my permission.
We need to prosecute those people that are doing it.
Do we stand in one spot and say enough is enough, and if they don't listen, we take it to the next step?
You've been doing this for a while?
Yep.
Long time. People do care.
Yeah.
They care deep.
I know that.
So we're now getting really involved, and now we're going to bring something legal against your company.
I want to watch that. I gotta watch that, bro.
What if I told you that the creation of AI was completely inverted upside down and backwards from the creation of man? So we know that Satan cannot create. He can only corrupt, destroy, and try to manipulate. We also know he wanted to be like God. He wants to be like God. Well, we know that God can hear everything, see everything, be everywhere. Satan wants to be like God, so he also wants to see everything, be everywhere, hear everything. Omnipresence. Well, think about it for a second. AI is everywhere right now. It sees everything. It hears everything. We all have a phone. It also is about to control everything artificially. This should remind you, by the way, of the Eye of Sauron from Lord of the Rings, which was a complete parable and, metaphor for all-seeing eye or Satan. Now, with the creation of man, God made man in his image. But now, man is turning away from God and making AI and robots in their image, or in our image. So the creation of man is diametrically opposed to the opposite story, to man creating AI. And eventually the plan is to merge us with AI. And if we were merged with AI, and if AI is summoning the demon, as Elon Musk said, then that would be also in our brains with this Neuralink and all these other chips they have planned. So do you see where I'm going with this? They're also trying to create artificial immortality with the idea of merging our consciousness, uploading it to the cloud. Artificial immortality. What we're going through in this pinnacle moment in human history on Earth right now is 100% biblical, and you better get right with God.
certain points in the evolution of the Taranisium, there were other extraterrestrial forces that weren't originally wanting to participate in the Taranisium experience, in the experiment of creating the Taranisium, that decided they wanted to take it in their own direction. So they came and they interbred with some of them. They distorted the gene code of the original Taranisium. And because of that distortion, there was a certain clarity of consciousness that was lost by the Taranisium. Some of their race began to digress. They began to lose touch with, they had a consciousness that felt total at one-ment with God. And it was a state of love and joy and beauty that's very hard to describe. When they got involved with some of the other extraterrestrial groups that did not have that high of a gene code, it reduced their own. And it also reduced their ability to identify that strongly with the God presence, with the harmonious operations of the universe. So some of them evolved into a species called the Atlantians. Not the Atlanteans, but Atlantians. There's only one T in that name. That was where our original race memories of Atlantis actually came from. It came from Harmonic 2 in Atlantean. They began to have problems with what we would term here ego. They began to see themselves as very powerful, and they began to see power as something not to be used just in love and in service to the universe, but as something that they could collect and use against other beings. There was a large group of them in power in the Atlantean civilization. There was a group of them called the Templar Solar Initiates, who were appointed as the guardian keepers of certain of the energy dynamics of planet Terra. It was a very, very sacred position, and it was given to them by something called the Sirian Council from the planetary star systems of Sirius. They had given them, because the ones from Sirius were part of the parentage of the Taranisium race, and they had entrusted their children with this very, very sacred job. Well, the Templar Solar Initiates goofed up big time, to put it mildly. Our Atlantean memories, which we all have at some level, deep down in our gene code, are the memories of what the Taranisium did to Terra in their abuse of power. And what they did was they used certain crystalline technologies, which are chelantic technologies, as was discussed in some of the other classes that I gave. They used them in a way that caused implosions and then explosions within the energetic grid of planet Terra. Part of planet Terra, not the whole thing, but part of it broke off. Its energetic form dismantled instead of being together. When a planet or a being begins to dismantle itself energetically, that is the opposite of evolution.
She going crazy. Man, this all day I want to hear more.
We've got some serious problems with our history books, y'all. This is St. Isaac's Cathedral in Russia. Look, horse and buggy. This was built in the 1800s. Completed in the mid-1800s. I got so many. Hold on. So this right here, what do you see? You see nothing but swamp. No other buildings, no nothing. That's the Lincoln Memorial, dude. Yeah. So what people are saying is a lot of these old world type buildings were actually found. They weren't found dead, they were found. That's the rumor anyway. Look at that, man. Don't get me started on the World's Fairs. They were all in the late 1800s, early 1900s. So a lot of people said these structures existed long before. Dude, stay with me. I've got some videos to show you after I show you this last one. Look at the World's Fair, man. Look at this right here. It's in Paris, dude. Look at that. What's on top of these buildings? You want to know what's on top of these buildings? I'll show you. Look at this right here. Looks like it's activating. Look. Look. Hold on. So a lot of these old buildings, they say, they used to extract the ether from above, which is like the electricity in the sky, we'll just call it, right? Check it out right here, though, man. You can see it. It's like a lot of these old buildings. Then you got buildings like these right here, they say, allegedly, could be flying machines. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at this, these columns. How you gonna make columns that spin? Like, what is going on with that? I've got a couple more, man. Y'all are gonna be pretty surprised. It just kills me, dude. Look, this is supposed to be for earthquake checks. Why would you build such a massive structure, y'all, and then make these little jokers spin like this? Does anybody have a reasonable explanation? Check it out. Spinny, spinny, winny, winny. Just saying. Look at this joker right here, y'all. This was in Rio de Janeiro, 1908. Look at the daggum columns on this thing. How huge this was. But if you look, you can see a lot of like little bitty weird looking things on these buildings, especially up here on the top, man. That's where they allegedly collected the ether. You gotta admit though, when you this is the Capitol building, when you look at some of these, they just really, really look out of place. And I'm not saying Well, I guess I kind of am saying, allegedly. But you know what I'm saying? It's just, these are things that make you wonder. Y'all have a great day.
I ain't never seen them call them spin. That's my first time seeing it.
Oh, we got your ass. We got your ass now. Yeah? Shout out to the gang. Oh my days. Is it safe?
Yeah, man, you alright? Come on.
Oh, the big man. You been down there already, big man?
No.
No, shit.
Come on, boy.
Oh no, this is safe. These men done the come on, man. We got the caveman. The caveman there. Days. Come on, man. Oh, you son of a bitch. Got your ass down. We got the gang. Yeah, we got a man with, bro. Yeah, that's why we need to start getting shovels, sledgehammers, pickaxes, all type of shit. Get me? Tell them.
Look at it.
Yo, if you're an alcoholic, this is your nightmare.
Approximately 450,000 years ago, the Anunnaki, in search of gold to shield their planet Nibiru's atmosphere, arrive on Earth. Their first settlement is established in the Persian Gulf region. Initial phase. They begin their operations by mining gold in the southeastern Africa region. Due to labor difficulties, they genetically engineer Homo sapiens by combining their DNA with that of existing hominids to create a more suitable workforce.
It's gonna ruffle some feathers.
What if I can tell you that everything you want, everything you dream about already exists in the quantum field, but we are all programmed to be realistic and not dream and just work and work and work and work, and eventually you get it. That's not how the universe works. You have to broadcast, your emotions have to align, because you're technically just a huge magnet. So everything you dream of, everything you want is already in the quantum field, just waiting for you to broadcast it and ask the universe for it. So always dream big, and always remember that everything you want is in the quantum field waiting for you.
Very well said. Very well said. Can't put it no other way. You gotta make sure you align, bro. Keep them emotions in order so you can attract everything you need to attract. But I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all know what it is, man. We made it to the end of this, and if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. I appreciate you if you're watching ETV, whatever the case is. I wish it was smooth 7. Also, don't forget to hype up the video. I had to give y'all a longer video. I'll see everybody in the next one. Y'all know what it is. We gone.
Ay, yeah, I just check my account. Sheesh, at the amount. You probably know